Drag Queen of the Week. And we are here today with the delightful, the wondrous Billie Jean. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Not too shabby at all. For those at home who don't know who you are, give them a little taste of what you get up to.
Well, everything's changed, really, I suppose. When I first started out, I would have been DJ, cabaret, hostess with the mostess, I would have thought, around the village. Now, still DJing, one night a week. Club promoter, event organiser, fundraiser. So yeah, the list is endless, I suppose.
All-encompassing roles, then?
Yeah, all good, all very rewarding, all things which I probably sat down and thought as a kid, yeah, you know, everyone wants to be a club promoter, don't they? Everyone wants to run events and stuff like that, and then when it actually happens, you think to yourself, do you remember when you were 16 and you had that dream of hosting a chat show? And I've done that, and I've done some podcasts just recently for the Canal Street, kind of new podcasting, Canal Street Radio, which they've just launched.
Very nice.
So it's
very busy.
Very busy. Very have to press stop or pause every now and again just to recharge my batteries.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. So where can our listeners find you around the village, or just out and about generally?
Out and about generally, usually based around Taurus, because that's where all my Canal Street work and Pride House Manchester work is based. And I'm at the Union every Sunday from 8 p.m.
Very nice.
On the corner of Canal Street.
And what, first of all, when you were younger, sort of made you aware of drag as a thing?
I always knew that, for me, it's more than drag. I would say it's more female impersonator / loves dressing, loves the glamour, loves being feminine. As a kid, could turn a duvet cover into a dress quite easily. Always played the female roles in games and stuff like that. And then I was 16, was going to college at the old Sheena Simon, which is just in the middle of the gay village, which I didn't even know was there at all. Went from an all-boys private school to Sheena Simon, which was like going to the fame school. It's totally off my kind of thing. Yeah. Only heard about it through a friend, went along, did the induction. My mum was mortified walking through these streets and like everything. And then went to college. The same weekend, a best friend said, "You do know, like, this is where we want to be." And I was like, "No." And we just went along to one bar, which I now DJ in, and saw drag queens, Roxy Hart, Terry Knight, Terry Fox, and was just fascinated. And then the penny dropped, like, yeah, do it. And that's how it all began.
Very nice. Who would you say are your main drag influences?
Drag influences would have to be Roxy Hart. It was always about the glamour, and lip syncing is still amazing. Better Legs Diamond from Funny Girls. Just the kind of real glamour and the kind of really funny ones as well. The kind of comedy, the kind of comedy characters. And then professionally, as in superstar-wise, Cher, Madonna, Barbra Streisand, the kind of usual kind of catalogue. But it just kind of happened. There was no kind of... just always knew it was what I was going to do. From being 18, I've had normal jobs, worked my way up, was running nightclubs and bars and restaurants, and then at 25, just jacked it all in to be a drag queen.
How would you say it was getting into it in the first place? Did you find it quite a sort of like a closed drag community?
A nightmare.
Really?
I've never lied about that ever. I've always been really honest about the fact that it was a nightmare. It took a lot to keep going, because it still is in some ways, in the fact that it's jobs for everyone, isn't it? So when someone new comes on the scene, everyone starts fearing for shifts and jobs and everything else, and there's only so many jobs in the village, hence why I've diversed into other things, you just kind of go with it, and persevere, and just don't listen to anybody.
Nice, good advice.
Don't listen to anybody. Just go with your gut instinct. And because I look back and people say right in the very beginning, "Oh, you look fabulous," and you look like you think, "Oh, I looked an state." Yeah, people. So just go with it and just practice.
How long did it take to find Billie Jean? And to sort of, and to come to where she is now.
Into where she is now. By making loads of mistakes. By making loads of mistakes.
What were the most embarrassing ones?
Probably when I first started DJing and hosting, thinking like you had to be vile to be funny, and pissing a load of people off, which still don't forgive you to this day, and still see you and go, oh, she's vile, her. And then kind of realising that it's much better to be nice and welcoming and warm, and if when someone asks you, oh, how do you get into drag, or where do you get your shoes from, rather than saying a secret shop, just saying, well, actually it's from this website here and here's the address, and they go, oh, right.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. So yeah, probably that was the biggest mistake I kind of made, and loads of fashion faux pas as well, you know, loads of them. And also, in the beginning, because you don't know anything, you copy everyone, and it never is quite right, so
going more with what you feel like doing, rather than
go with
copying.
your feel. I would probably say over like the past 6 years, I found my own little identity, fashion-wise, and what I like to wear, and just be comfortable with that. And once you're comfortable with that, and you're being really honest, then that's the real you, isn't it? If you know what I mean. Rather than trying to be a Roxy Hart or a Better Legs Diamond, because that's them, and you're never going to be that person. So just be you.
Be true to yourself.
Yeah, be true to yourself. Yeah, and you know, just do what is most natural to you.
What's your opinion of the drag scene in the village at the moment? Is it dying off? Is it having a resurgence?
I think it goes through cycles. It's all down to bar owners. It's all down to what they want to put on in their venues. There's, I think that we have. I think we could have a better drag scene. I think our trans scene is really undercatered for. Yeah. I think for a scene as big as ours, we don't have any, not yet, trans club nights. I know we've got Touch Up Boudoir, and they're doing incredibly well, because there just isn't any other scene. There's just no, when I first started dressing, Wednesday nights in the village, we were just talking about it before, were rammed. They were absolutely rammed, but you've got to think of the internet's changed things. People can stay at home to cop off.
There's less need to go out.
There's less need to exactly. Which is why we all went out. It was to go out and find somewhere. But now we just click our phone on and it happens.
There you go.
And it's true. I think we could have a better drag scene. I think we've got great talent in the village. I'm really proud to kind of class many of them as friends. Belinda, Misty, Nana, and they all do incredibly well. I couldn't do 5 nights a week again. It would just kill me.
End you.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like if you're doing it in different venues, because you get a different crowd. But if you're doing it in the same venue, I used to be bored of myself. So it's fair. Like after 10 years, I must have done it 8. We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? 8. Must have done 6, 7 years without a break.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
long time.
5 nights a week in the same venue.
I mean, that's a long time in any job these days.
Yes, exactly. And because you're self-employed, there's that fear of, well, if I take some time off, then they'll bring somebody else in to cover, and they could be a bit cheaper, or they could be a bit better, and you've lost that. And it's just, so you do get on this kind of treadmill, and then, I definitely burnt myself out. Definitely. I took 4 years off. So,
really?
Yeah.
How did you find going back into it after the time?
It was great. It was great because I still dressed, and I still came in the village, and I still kept my kind of face around. And you're on Facebook now, aren't you, and Twitter, so everyone knows that you're still alive. And then kind of when you come back, it's just like doing it all over again, but I just appreciated it much more kind of going back. And I only do like one or 2 gigs kind of week, and do lots of other stuff like the Canal Street Sessions and the Canal Street Radio and Pride House Manchester, and I've got a couple of club nights coming up and that kind of thing. So
the Pride House Manchester is what I'm going to mention next. I mean, you've been very busy recently, with a lot of the stuff that's been going on.
It's not finished yet either.
No, it's not. It's always still going on. How have you found being a sort of an accidental gay crusader in a way?
An accidental gay activist who never had any political motivation at all. I've had fights at dinner parties because I really don't care about things like that. And then all of a sudden, found myself tweeting more and more kind of gay news stories and I don't know if I talked about it last time, I wasn't even reading them the kind of first time round. And then after a while, I was like, I better read these tweets. And now I'm just obsessed with it. And,
sucks you in, doesn't it?
I'm sucked in, and I don't know if I'm doing it right, because I've never done it before. So I have a couple of people who I go to and go, have I phrased this right? And, is there a positive spin on it? And kind of that kind of thing. So I'm great to have Lou and Jackie and everyone who kind of back me up. But I think I've found something that is, if I can use my, I hate the word status, but my kind of position in the village and in our community with Twitter followers and Facebook followers and stuff to get that information out there, then so be it.
A few of the drag queens we've spoken to, half of them have sort of enjoyed that ability to bring people together, and the other half have found it not. They haven't disliked it, but it's not been their main priority, and they've sort of stumbled into it by accident.
Yeah, you do. And for me, probably being a little bit of a control person and kind of like being the leader, I love it. I think that's an age thing as well. I love getting all the drag queens together for charity events, which they all curse me for, but like Warrington Pride, I'm on the board of Warrington Pride, going into our 3rd year, and they've all come down to like Warrington for the big day on the stage. They all do that kind of little bit for me, and I'm really grateful for that. But having the ability to do that, and when you start politically speaking and asking people to sign petitions for Sir Philip Craven to help keep the Russian Open Games going and stuff, you also open a tin of worms where people think you don't have the credentials to do that. That's what I've found out with Pride House.
Okay, so
there's definitely been a shitstorm brewed in certain parts of the community, because
it seems weird that should happen when all you're doing is trying to do something good for your LGBT brethren.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I learnt a long time ago, do not read the comments. Okay?
Never read the comments.
Never read the comments. And just recently, we had a very successful Pride House opening event, and a couple of screenshots were texted to me, have you seen this? And I'm just like, I would rather not see it. So there's always going to be someone sat behind a keyboard, drunk or whatever, taking a pot shot, aren't they? And if and they're the ones that when you see in the street, they go, oh hi, and don't, or it's just let them do it.
Do you find there's been a lot of that over the years, sort of this other two-facedness?
Yeah, well, no, I won't say two-facedness. I think, you're always going to piss somebody off, aren't you?
Also being, being central and obvious.
In whatever you do, and you're always going to say something that someone is offended by, or you're always going to portray yourself in a way that someone doesn't like. So someone's always going to take a pop at you, aren't you? So, I try not to comment on things on social media that would get me into any kind of hot water, and I try just to promote myself in a positive vibe and just don't hold any grudges. So if you don't hold grudges, then unless it's a really serious grudge, you know what I mean? Like, I love Facebook and I love Twitter and I love everything, but it's just also a big negative, isn't it, as well? It's like,
it's a minefield.
It's a minefield, which is why I will go back and say, just don't read the comments and don't tell me either.
Don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
Yeah,
don't want to know.
Quite happy to...
if I don't know, then it can't
affect me
in any way. And what they don't know, they make up anyway.
Well, exactly, yeah.
So I try to make sure that there's enough information out there so everyone knows. I've got my own website and I've on every social media thing known to man, woman and beast. And you just do it. Just get on with it.
If there was some advice you were going to give to a fledgling drag queen,
right,
what do you reckon it would be? If you were to be their drag mother?
Which I am to a few people. Well, not drag mother, no, I do have a drag king nephew. Yes, and our Frankie. And I do have a drag queen daughter, our Colleen. But I don't kind of... I do give them odd tips of advice, but they're younger, and I'll just kind of like go, just do it. But just believe in yourself. If that's your goal and you want to do it, and do it seriously, and don't do things that are going to give people ammunition to, hurl at you. But just do it and make those daft mistakes, fall fall over, get your makeup wrong. But today, there's so much wealth of knowledge out there with different websites and YouTube videos and tutorials, and you know, you can walk into Mac and they'll quite happily tell you what to do and blah blah blah. We didn't have that 20 years ago. It was literally just sink or swim. And
do you feel shortchanged by time?
No, not at all. Because it's just a learning thing, isn't it? It's just, you know. But believe in yourself and have that. This is what I want to do, and just go along and just be nice with it.
Fantastic. Thank
you. If that's possible.
I believe so. Thank you very much indeed, Billie Jean, for coming down.
No problem at all.
If people want to find you on Facebook and Twitter
at Billie Jean HQ, or you can check out my own website, which is lovebillie.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Charles.
Drag Queen of the Week.